Hi BookTube. So I hope everyone had a nice holiday break. It was really nice here. It actually snowed starting Christmas night, so I'm going to consider that a white Christmas, and it's actually been snowing every day since, off and on, and I've been really enjoying it. It hasn't been too icy, which has been nice, so I can actually walk on it without slipping and feeling like I'm going to fall. Fable has really been really enjoyed it. It's like a Christmas gift that keeps on giving for her. This morning, in fact, she's really solid sleeper at night. Most of the time, she doesn't get up until like 8:30. Like now that it's darker in the mornings. But this morning, she woke me up at 6 o'clock. Like sat on the bed, was like looking down at me, like, "Come on, let's go out." So I like tramped out there, but she's just loving the snow. I think as a lot of dogs do, like all the smells that it holds and everything. So she's just rolling in it. Her nose is like covered in it. She's just adorable. And so it seems like we're gonna have at least a couple more days of at least staying on the ground, which would be nice, instead of just like completely melting away. So anyway, it was a nice Christmas break. I only work one day this week, and so I'm basically having a long vacation to the new year. And that one day I'm going to be working is going to fly by. I know, just like catching up on things. Anyway, it's a long like diatribe. Going back to what I was wanting to be talking about is my 2021-2022 goals. I've been watching a bunch of booktubers talk about their goals, and I just find it fascinating. And I thought I would share my goals. So for 2021, I wrote down my bookish goals, and they were to keep a journal and keep a track of like book reviews, because I religiously use Goodreads to track what I want to read, currently reading, and what I've read. But I don't do star ratings, and I don't like type a review on there. So I thought, okay, I would like to keep a book journal, just like a paragraph or two on what I thought about the book before moving on to the very next book, like I tend to do. So, to give myself to like think about ruminate on what I had just read. And so as far as keeping a diary, a journal, I did pretty good with that up until like August or September. Here's Fable. Yeah. She again is wanting to go out, I'm sure. She's like almost every hour now. She's like, "Take me out." And I've been honoring it pretty faithfully, because I mean, she loves it, and it's not always gonna be here. So yeah, and having the time off too has helped. So if I want to sit down over here. Oh, so yeah, so the book journal, I mean, that's your book journal. My diary, I kept pretty faithfully to that until like the end of the summer. And then I just kind of like, I don't know, I got in a space of not doing it out of a habit. And then I haven't gone back to it since, which is really bad, because, I would like to. Let's see if I can turn this camera so that Fable can be there. She is in the picture, if I can not make it so wiggly. Okay, scoot over here. There's Fables. So what was I talking? Yes. And so I got a habit, and I haven't picked it up since. And I'm like, it'd be nice to record even like the, my birthday weekend or Christmas. What did I do, so I can remember that. Oh, here she sits down again. Stuff like that. So I hope to get back to it at some point, because I did find it pretty rewarding of an experience. And I think for me, I need to do it like early in the morning, because I found doing it at night, I was just really tired. And so I, sometimes, especially when I stopped doing it, I had like lacked that motivation, because I just want to go to bed. Like I don't want to, like wake up, in a way to, record my thoughts. And so I think I need to change it to in the morning. And as far as the book reviews, the same thing happened. I read a lot of books, and so I got to the point where I was very far behind, like 40 or something books behind, where I needed to record, what I was thinking of them, and I really need to keep a pace with it, because otherwise, a couple days go by, and like, and yeah, like I want those fresh thoughts too. Like, of course, I want to like think about what I'm gonna write beforehand, but I don't want all my thoughts to like be gone and just have like a vague idea of it, a couple of months down the road. So yeah, again, I need to be more on top of things and not let things slide. And then one of my other goals for 2021 was to read a poetry collection and a sci-fi book, science fiction. each month. And I've been doing pretty well with that. I've read a poetry collection almost every month except I think November. And this month I still have a week or so left, and so I'm gonna fit a poetry collection in this month. I think I only missed 1 month. And then for science fiction, I've been doing really well. But the thing with that is, I've really enjoyed reading science fiction. And not that I didn't enjoy it before, I just wanted to read more of it. And so with science fiction, what I found is I have so many more books. As we all do, so many more books I want to read that I don't have the time for. So I do want to keep up reading science fiction. As for poetry, I enjoyed the experience, that push to read more of it. And to be honest, I still don't. It's not something I would naturally gravitate towards. It's not something I always understand what I'm reading. But I am happy that I, push myself to read more. And I do want to at least periodically read more poetry. And so yeah, that was fun experience. And then as for my last reading goal, which was very ambitious, because in 2020 I read a total of 461 books. And so every year I try and give myself just a motivation, like, I don't know, competition with myself, I don't know, of keeping up with things, of reading at least one more book than I did the previous year. And so 2020, for everyone, was an extraordinary year and an odd year in many, many ways. And so for half the year, or if not 3/4 of the year, I didn't go anywhere, I didn't do anything, and I was at home all the time. And I had an older dog who didn't need a lot of walks, and so I managed to read 461 books. And I think the year before that I had read like 380, 400. I can't remember, but I have to look and see. So I was like, okay, for 2021, I'm just gonna set it at 462. I knew when I said it, I doubted that I would complete that goal, but I just put it there anyway, just to see. And so far, I think I'm at 340, 350 right now. So I didn't meet my goal, but that's, part of like, moving to a new city. I moved to Portland, and so I went out and about to explore. I haven't done any like inside exploring. I've done it all outdoors for the most part. Exploring the nature around me, all the trails, and all of that, which I've really enjoyed. And then the other part is Fable, which, so she's out in Florida, so you can't really see her. But she is a very active dog. She is almost 2 now. And so she has a ton of energy, and she keeps me on my feet a lot. And I'm not complaining about that at all. So she takes up at least 2-3 hours of my day throughout the day, with walks and playing. At the minimum, it's 2 hours at the minimum, but most of the time it's like 3 or 4. So yeah, so like because of all of that, I haven't had as much time to read. But still, I'm thinking I'll hit around 360, maybe 365, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days, because I do have a lot of time off. But yeah, just life happens, and all that's for the good. Exploring and going and enjoying my walks with Fable have been fantastic. So I wouldn't have it any other way. And so yeah, those are what my goals were for 2021. Now I want to talk about my goals for 2022. And so I'm going to set my goal for books at 365. I think that is pretty manageable for me, barring any like unforeseeable things that happen. We have no idea what's going to happen in 2022. I mean, I hope it's better than 2021. I feel like for me, 2021 was harder than 2020 because, I don't know. I feel like I went in thinking, okay, we're going to go up from here from 2020. Now that we know more about the pandemic, and, we're going to have vaccinations, but, we're still, very much living in a pandemic, I feel like isolated, situation. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, so anyway, 365 books is my goal. And then also, instead of focusing on science fiction and poetry, I'm going to be focusing on classics, which is a thing that I've seen several booktubers also talk about. And instead of like reading one poetry and one science fiction, I'm going to switch it to reading at least 2 classics per month. And I would love to get any recommendations on classics from you guys, because I have a bit of an idea of what I would like to read, but I am very much welcoming any recommendations there. And I also want to get myself out of the comfort zone of I've read a lot of like Victorian classics, modern classics, but I haven't read a ton of ancient classics. I've read Homer, I've read like Euripides, a couple others, but barely anything ancient classic wise. But yeah, I'd also, any recommendations, across the spectrum of classics, I would love to hear. And then the last challenge I'm giving myself is to read more of my physical books. Now that I'm living here in Portland with all these wonderful bookstores and free libraries and library book sales and all of that, I have accumulated quite a bit of books. And so what I've been doing this month, I just started in December, was to read a digital book and then read a physical book off my shelf, like flip-flopping back and forth. And I've really enjoyed that experience. And so I want to continue that. I don't have as many physical books to push my way through the year, but that is giving me more motivation to go book shopping. So yeah, I would really like to continue that. And you really feel accomplished, reading off my shelves, not just relying on the library or the digital books that I own. Yeah, it's been a really nice experience. So I want to continue that through 2022. I've seen quite a few people talk about like no buy years, or not no buy a year, and there's a couple people talking about reading 100 books off your shelf before you buy one, which I couldn't do. I couldn't do it. It's just like with all these temptations around me. But I mean, I can't say I couldn't do it because I've done it. Well, no, I've still, even when I didn't have any bookshelves, I still would buy a book here and there. But my library systems are so good. I am like kind of spoiled in that way, because I have a fantastic library, not library system, plural. I have library systems at my fingertips. So if like one library doesn't have it, I have a couple other counties of libraries that are just phenomenal. And so almost any book that's on ebook, I can almost like 99% guarantee I can find it. So yeah, a lot of my books I try and like physically own are ones that outside of like the free library books, I try and get that aren't on a digital, that aren't available digitally, so that I'm like spending my money wisely in a way, in that sense. But anyway, I still buy books all the time that are available ebook wise. But yeah, books I know that are going to be favorites or that already are favorites are typically what I buy that are have an ebook copy. Anyway, so these are my 2021 wrap, like recap, and 22 goals. Yeah, let me know what you think of this. And again, I would love to hear about any classic recommendations, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, BookTube.